Good morning, fella and fellas. I got a coffee here. Last night I was asked in my live stream, just near the end, one of my viewers asked me to watch the newest World of Tanks video and to respond to it. So I have it here, and it's called the SPG Guide. Mostly because I do play artillery, but it's not a main of mine. I only do it for the missions, as you guys know. So yeah, let's take a look, shall we? Alright, so finally let's get to watching it, shall we?
Hello, stunning tankers. Today we'll be talking about the most specialized vehicle type, artillery.
Okay.
These are glass cannons, which you'll never see on the front line.
Bitch, yes you will. Because I'm sometimes I will just, for the lulls to get through the lower tier artillery, I will just turn it into basically a derpy tank destroyer. So that's a lie.
Usually takes a while to reload, and it
That's
fires
true.
in that general direction.
That's true.
So the shells fly for so long you'd think the gunner had thrown them himself.
Have they been watching my streams? Because that's literally what I scream.
Basically, there are a few downsides.
A few?
However, artillery can do something else.
No. Okay. First things first, that is misleading. Artillery cannot destroy solid rock objects. Artillery cannot destroy map objects. We can destroy certain houses, not main structural buildings like those. No. Again, can't do that. We can't.
Fine. Maybe not as cool. It fires at an arc, which can potentially disregard terrain. It makes 3-point shots with HE shells, causing damage to an area.
Again, Wargaming, please stop manipulating the footage. Because we all know that the tanks that just blew up had 1 hit point and all of their internal modules hit points set to 1. So that they were going to explode in such a horrible way. Stop misleading your player base, potential or current, because you piss off the current player base, you piss off the potential player base, because they will go down the artillery tree. They think, oh, I'm just going to look at that T111 E4 and shoot, and ding, that was close, and you've done nothing. Same as if you look at the quote unquote potential damage, and it's in the upper 2000 whatever. No, there's absolutely no solid way, not unless you've got maxed out crew with prototype equipment and all these other stuff and whatnot. There's no way you're even going to remotely come close to scratching any of that. Of course, unless you're the French freaking piece of crap, overpowered tier 5 premium. Why on God's green earth did you remove the Saxon artillery piece, both Saxon 1 and Saxon 2, with the Saxon 1 being the premium tank? Yeah, why did you remove those, but you won't remove the French artillery piece?
SPGs are the only vehicle with a stun mechanic. Stunning is a temporary penalty to the characteristics of a vehicle,
which doesn't mean
by a stunned crew.
Which doesn't mean shit, because all the enemy's got to do that's been stunned, you just go med kit, unstunned. And then you're probably thinking, well, yeah, but then the medkit's minimum, if they've got a premium, if they've got like a large medkit with the consumables commander perk, that consumable will be back in less time than it takes for a tier 8, 9, or 10. Well, actually, yeah, it would take longer. It would be back into action. The medkit would be back into action by the time a tier 8, 9, or 10 artillery piece is reloaded. So you're never gonna stun that tank. So unless you remove the ability for medkits to remove stun, there's absolutely no way that the stun mechanic is even a thing. And that's another thing. Even if your tank, even if the artillery shell says can do up to 18 seconds stun, it's extremely ultra mega friggin' rare that you get more than 12 seconds on stun. Your own video proves this. When you literally just hit that BZ 176 and you've only stunned it for 8 seconds. Your own video is proving that the stun mechanic doesn't work. And you think it does. This is not the own that you think it is, Wargaming.
It helps allies on the front line by weakening the opponent.
No, it doesn't, for one reason. 9 times out of 10, your allies don't fucking shoot at the tank that you've actually stunned. The stun mechanic only works if you are in a platoon and you can communicate effectively with your platoon mates and say, case in point, T-57's like, I'm staring at this Type 5, can you stun it please, Arty? Arty stuns it. Okay? Hits, does, I'll be generous, hits, does 200 damage, that is being generous nowadays, and stuns it. Okay? The T-57, the enemy heavy hits the med kit, he's unstunned. Why did I shoot at that? Why did I shoot at the fucking heavy tank in the first place then? Are you not getting it, Wargaming? I get it. You want to do a rock, paper, scissors style game system. But that doesn't work. It doesn't work. Life is not rock, paper, scissors. Okay? Life is rock, paper, scissors, shotgun to the head. You just lost. Because you're still there going. Well, I've walked up and just double barreled you in the back of the fucking head. That's life. That is life. Whatever the hell you seem to do in Belarus or wherever the feck you are in the world now, because you keep jumping from country to country to country to country due to sanctions. But the point is, right, you're not getting it, are you? Either you make the stun mechanic an actual hard mechanic, like a fire, i.e. you give artillery a percentage chance to stun, and it's not counterable by a medkit, in which case, not going to lie, it's going to suck for the Arty missions, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be hard enough. It's not going to be hard for you to modify the artillery missions and say, oh, instead of it being stun an enemy tank for 100 seconds, it's stun 2 enemy tanks for a minimum of X amount of seconds instead, you know, or track an enemy tank 2 times, the same tank twice. Things of that nature. You can modify those missions any way you want, but my point still stands. Okay, yes, in theory, I am defending artillery players. Okay, think about it. Every line in World of Tanks is here for a reason. Now, don't even get me started on the controversy of why we still have light tanks. Okay, because we don't need them. You've made medium tanks the new light tanks. And don't fucking tell me you haven't. Adding tanks like the Brusque, or the Baguette Chucker, and the Bechelion 25T, and the Progetto 46, and there's one other. Progetto 46, you're going to make me do this. What one is it? Oh, and the CS 53 in the Polish tech tree. With you adding those tanks in, okay, even with the right setup, okay, I can configure my I could configure a Leopard PTA or a Leopard 1 to be a much better scout with a better gun than the RU-251 and the Rampanzer. Because of CVS, because of Commander's Vision View. You don't get it. That one single piece of equipment has made an entire tech tree line obsolete. And you're not thinking. Now, some of you people are thinking, how can one piece of equipment turn an entire tech tree line obsolete. Okay, I'll explain it to you. You are in a VK2801, okay, tier 6 German light tank. Okay, if you look at that tank, it will tell you it will face up to tier 9s. Okay, now what do medium tanks get at tier 8 and up? Commander's vision viewport, which allows them to see through bushes through X%. So you're on a Barask, because you're going to see them. You're in the French two-shot autoloader. You're in a Barask with a Commander's vision viewport. Or even the Chauffateur 4, which I've done to my Chauffateur. In my Chauffateur 4, I have actually given it Commander's vision viewport, CVS. What else have I given it to? I gave it to Jasor the tank. I've given it to Patton the tank. And there you go, my Kunitz Panzer. My Kunitz Panzer has a Commander's Vision CVS system. And its current view range is 509 meters. I do outspot light tanks. I light them up all the time. And I have the gun accuracy at 0.2 accuracy to snipe their tracks, so they go nowhere. I, on average, and I hate to be that sort of person, I, on average, okay, will purposefully hunt down the enemy light tanks in my Kunitz Panzer. Because I know I can. And I know there's fuck all they can do about it. Because of one piece of equipment. Commander's Vision. That's it. So, like I said, that one piece of equipment has destroyed, completely destroyed, an entire tech tree line. Well, one mechanic has destroyed an entire tech tree line. That one mechanic that you're boasting about right now. That is the fundamental flaw in artillery. It doesn't do anything other than annoy the tank you're shooting at. Yeah, okay, great. They used their med kit. Doesn't mean shit. Because now they've used their med kit, I'm no longer going to get any stun EXP, any support EXP. I'm going to get nothing. And that is the primary thing that helps artillery level up. To get experience is the stun mechanic. That's what you've done. Tracking and stunning. That's exactly what you've done. And why do you think the only module you ever showed that artillery has actually damaged is tracks at the end of the game? I could set an enemy tank on fire, so I know I've either ruptured their fuel tank or damaged their engine. Yet after the match, I go and take a look. Damage. Tracks. Is their engine on the outside? Is there fuel tanks on the outside? Why? Because your own game system treats the first module damaged as the actual module that you damaged in the end battle report. That's how stupid you are, Wargaming. You can't even figure out what actual modules you've actually damaged. Your end-game mechanic reports are useless when it comes to artillery. Yet, on a medium tank, or a heavy tank, or a light tank, or any other fucking tank, I can stand there and go, boop, there goes the tracks, boop, there goes the driver, boop, there goes the engine, boop, there goes the ammo rack. And at the end of the report, it will list track, engine, ammo, loader, drive. It will list the actual people, the actual things I did. But it doesn't do that for artillery. Why? Is it a problem on your end? A glitch, maybe? Something that I've sent multiple friggin' tickets in for and heard nothing back from you? Let's continue.
Remember, stun opponents, not your allies. If allies cause damage to a stunned enemy, the SPG user gets points for assisted
Which doesn't mean shit because, like I said, medkit, done. You're now out. You get nothing. You get nothing.
Stun damage, like assisted spotting or tracking damage.
Don't mean shit. You get nothing.
Only the first of the 3 shells can stun.
No, not true. There are other high explosive shell types that aren't listed here that do stun.
That's the standard HE shell, which you're best off using most of the time. This is because stunning significantly weakens all enemies within the burst radius.
What a load of shit. No, don't.
The second shell type is the non-stun HE shell, which has a lower burst radius but causes greater damage.
If it even lands within the same ballpark.
The third one is the AP or heat shell. These don't have a burst radius, but they're great at piercing armor.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. What shit is that? Wanna know how I know? How much armor does a Hellcat have? None. Barely has enough armor to stop 50 caliber rounds, right? I'm in my Tiger P, okay? My GW, my Tiger GW artillery piece, a tier 7, okay? Wait. Engine deck. The thinnest armor of all on a fucking Hellcat. I shoot. Bing. Fail to penetrate. I even go to the X-ray. Right on the fucking engine deck. Still failed to penetrate. So don't talk out your ass. Brush your teeth. Your breath smells like shit.
AP shells cause awesome damage, but
No, they
require
don't.
precision, which isn't exactly artillery's strong suit. SP
So in other words, they're saying don't take any AP shells whatsoever, which you shouldn't, because they're also the most expensive. They're even more expensive than your premium rounds. Go figure.
Gs don't have different roles, but each brand
Wrong. They do. Okay, in real life, light SPGs, light self-propelled guns, are usually used for infantry support. Heavy, more medium SPGs can also be turned into pseudo CAS support, close air support, which means if you've got enemy close air support, they can actually switch out to airburst rounds, which means they can fire them up in the air. Old school World War II, think the old school 8.8mm German flak guns. They can literally turn artillery into flak guns. And then you've got the heavy SPGs. Those are used for demolishing entire fucking cities. Ex-tanker.
which has its own particular qualities. We'll let you study the differences on your own. Now,
Here's the differences, summed up in one picture. Okay, here's the Brits. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, doesn't turn for shit because it's on the Conqueror chassis, right? No, in fact, it does not turn for shit. Okay, fixed casement, which makes no fucking sense. Okay, because by then they did actually have turreted tank destroyers, turreted artillery pieces, as per the French, which is right here, which is the Lefeur 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 times infinity, which actually is based on the AMX 50B 100 chassis with an actual fully traversable rotatable turret. The next one is the GW E100. That is based on the E100 chassis, which never actually fucking existed. And that is supposed to be, quote-unquote, a gun similar to the Gustav. It was done by Rheinmetall, and it's basically a scaled-down version of the Gustav gun, which, no, if you don't know what that is, the Gustav gun was 188mm rail track powered howitzer that was used to lob shells into England from France. Yes, it had that range. And the next one is the American, which is based on the M60 chassis. From the look of it, it looks like the M60 chassis. Is it M60 chassis? Yes, the M60 chassis. You can tell by the front buggy wheels and the drive gear and sprockets and whatnot. So that's based on the M60 chassis, which means that is the 150 5? Or the 1.8? Yes, the 150. That's the 150 howitzer. And then the next one looks to be Russian, based on the IS-4? Either IS-4 or KV. No, that's the that's the Object 430 chassis system. So that is the 100 and it's got the weird caliber, 140 something inch caliber. Anyway, so long story short, fixed cabin, rotated turret, fixed cabin, which is absolute horseshit, because this is another thing that most people don't seem to understand. The way Wargaming have got the current artillery set up, and I will go over to the game for this to show it to you real quick. If you go to your artillery tech trees, now, fixed cabin, rotatable turret, fixed cabin. Why is there only one rotatable? Just, it's like you're not thinking, Wargaming. You're not thinking. But if you go to the French, it's fixed cabin, somewhat rotational, back to fixed cabin, rotational. Here, I'll show you. Preview. Armor Inspector. Ready? Friggin' rotational turret on an artillery piece. So your crew are going to need your gunner is going to need a whole bunch of different skills. Isn't that right? Yes, see, that's right. As where if you go to the German tech tree, actually no, let's pick a different. Let's go to the English tech tree. Okay, same tier 10. Okay, we're going to go to preview, then we're going to go to armor inspector. Okay, do you have a rotating turret? Okay, you have a traversable arc, but you do not have a rotational turret. So the skills aren't necessarily the same as I mean, they are, but they aren't, if you know what I mean. And at the end of the day, there's still no equipment in the game that's designed to help with accuracy with artillery. In fact, they nerfed the accuracy of artillery multiple times. And then realized they over-nerfed it, rolled back one of the nerfs, and people were still complaining. So they carried on with that nerf. But let's continue.
Time to prep. The classic crew perk set for Arty is Brothers in Arms.
Yes, correct.
Concealment.
Not necessarily.
Smooth ride.
Not necessarily.
Snapshot.
Yes.
Intuition.
No.
Clutch braking.
No.
And sound detection.
No.
But
Okay. Absolutely horseshit. Talking out his arse. Let me explain. Brother in Arms, yes, because it's a passive 5% increase to all your stats. Okay. I'll tell you why he's wrong. Okay. Let's get to the skills.
Crew perk set for Arty is Brothers in Arms.
Correct. Now, if you are relying on your tank's camo, yeah, to remain hidden, either your team is majority dead, okay, and we all know what I mean by that, i.e. one of the flanks failed, because your heavies or your light tanks are all in the going, oh, what a beautiful bush, while everyone's fucking dying, and you're furiously masturbating in the fucking chat, hey, dipshit, over here, please. And then they're screaming, oh, Arty scrub, Arty this, like, motherfucker, I can't shoot if I don't have eyes. It's that simple. I will shoot. Click where you want me to shoot. Click. Fire. Nothing. No one there, moron. No one there. Next. Oh, here. Okay. Give me 30 seconds to reload. What? That's my reload, you dumb shit. I don't have 6-second reloads. I'm not a French autoloader artillery, which, by the way, is fucking retarded. So, no, camo's not going to fucking save you. What, for an additional second? It's not going to save you. It's a waste of a skill. Don't touch it.
Concealment.
So, don't bother with concealment. I'm sorry, but don't. Don't bother with concealment, okay? Just don't. Unless, now, bear in mind, I will say this. I would love to see an option where you could have 2 separate sets of skills on your same crew. So, as you go into the match, you know how you can hold down Control 1 and Control 2 once you unlock the field mods. Okay? I would like to see an option like Control 3 where we can pick a different skill set. Like a ramming skill set and a brawling skill set. I would then I would suggest yes if you want to do something like more of an ambush arty. What I mean by that is you're a pseudo tank destroyer. So you're there, enemy heavies coming around for a push, you fire, you track him, you splash him, you do some damage, and then your heavies go bloop, and he's deleted. Before he has a chance to hit 4, 5. Okay? Then yes, go with camo. Other than that, no, don't even bother. Same with sound detection. Don't even bother. It doesn't mean shit. Okay? If you are being counter batteried, the fact that you are the fact that you've got a potential saying, oh, you're being counter batteried. Well, no fucking shit. That means the enemy artillery is a fucking pro artillery player, because everybody knows how you can spot a good artillery player from a shit one is most good artillery players will prioritize enemy artillery first. Once they've murdered those artillery, it means their heavies can breathe a little bit easier. It means their light tanks can breathe a little bit easier. It means the medium tanks can breathe a little bit easier. It means the tank destroyers can breathe a little bit easier, knowing out of nowhere the rod of God is not going to go bloop, bloop, and delete them. So, only take that skill if you're a hardcore memeing artillery player. I'm not. Okay, I only have one artillery piece, which is the GW Panther. Okay, it's the only artillery piece I have. I don't have any other artillery pieces. I don't see the point. The rest are all useless, in my opinion. So, no. Let's break it down. Okay, Brother in Arms, yes. View, radio, yes. Side by side, absolutely not. Radio relay, absolutely not. Extended view, why? So you can see what modules are damaged on him, okay. And the mentor perk, no. Reason why no for the mentor perk is because, yeah, granted you get extra EXP, but at this point, if your crew all have 6 skills, you're just playing this tank to farm credits, to farm EXP books, okay? And now, if that's the case, then yeah, get it, but get that stone cold last. There are other skills out there that make artillery so much better. Now, as for the gunner, okay, yeah, Brother in Arms, Snapshot is not one I would solely focus on straight away. It's something that like you'd have something more closer down at the end. Again, it all depends on whether or not the artillery piece has a fixed cabin or a rotatable cabin, i.e. a rotatable turret. Okay? Because if it has a fixed cabin, okay, the clutch braking, in all honesty, is going to do you better than the snapshot. There, I fucking said it. Yeah, if you have them both, it's going to help get that circle down from this to this. And then you've still got to wait 5, fucking years to get it down to like this, and then you shoot and it lands nowhere where you fucking aimed. It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter. You've got more chances of throwing a hot dog down a hallway and hitting a hoe than you actually fucking do hitting a fucking tank in water tanks artillery in today's game. Why? Because there's, again, I will show you. The reason why I say this, because we'll go back to the game. Okay. If we go to equipment, okay, we go to standard. Okay. Accuracy improvement. Okay. No, I'm not going to put that on. Thank you. Okay. There is tons of equipment out there that's designed to help you with accuracy. Okay? Case in point, accuracy. Case in point, accuracy. Case in point, pseudo aim time / potential accuracy. Okay? Now let's add in the fact that let's take a look at bounties. Let's take a look at improved. Okay? Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. I could put this, and this in my artillery, right? Now, bear in mind, I'm showing you on the Kunitz Panzer for a reason, because you don't even get the option to look at these on an artillery piece, and I'll prove it to you here shortly, okay? So, yeah, I'd go with this, I'd go with this, and I'd go with this. 1,500 bonds. Literally, it would be 15,000 bonds to set up an artillery piece. I would do that for a tier 10, knowing that every stat that I've got is maxed out that I could get. Then you go to experimental. See this one here, the accuracy improvement system? It's actually pretty fucking boss. Because once it's fully upgraded, okay, your aim circle size goes down by 7, and your aim speed goes up by 5, which is fucking good. But you can't put that in an artillery piece. You can't even put a freaking fire control system in an artillery piece. Here, I'll show you. Okay? I will go to my one and only artillery, and I'm not even kidding you here, I'll prove it to you. The only artillery I have in the entire game. It's the only artillery piece I have in the entire game. Yes, I have a bonded loader to get the shells out faster. Okay, but let's take a look. Oh, wow. Nothing in here to help me with my accuracy. Nothing there to help me with my accuracy. Nothing here to help me with my accuracy. Nothing here to help me with my accuracy. Please understand, I have been the person that has been hit by artillery and cussed them out. I've been the one to hit with artillery and get cussed out. If an arty hits you, it's your fault. Because you're either out in the open, or the artillery's moved to get a position on you. Yes, if an arty player is smart, they will fucking move. If they're dumb, they will remain stationary. But there is absolutely no way, no frigging way, that you are going to find any kind of artillery that gets any kind of aim increase. So, the game's already saying, fuck you to artillery. The game's already saying, fuck you to artillery. Every other tank in the game has access to that sort of equipment. Again, I will prove it. I will bring up any other tank class you want. Here, let's go to a light tank. What's my highest tier light tank? Be my Hawk. Okay. So we'll go to equipment. Oh, look. It gets so much more. Improved radio sets, commander's vision. Oh, look. Accuracy. Let's take a look at bounties. Oh, wow. Let's take a look at experiment. Oh, wow. That's on light tanks. Let's take a look at mediums, shall we? Let's take a look at the Panther 2, shall we? And that's the piece of equipment I was telling you about, the Commander's Vision View System. That is what fucks over light tanks. You're welcome. That one piece of equipment right there, destroys an entire tank line. It does. It destroys an entire tank line. I get spotted more by medium tanks now than I do enemy light tanks because of that one piece of equipment. And oh look, it gets all the accuracy it gets all the accuracy increase equipment. Are you starting to see the point? But I digress. Smooth ride, no. Clutch braking, possible. Intuition, no, because like the video just said, the only shell you're primarily going to be taking is the basic HE shell, because the other two shells are too hit or miss. It is fundamentally horseshit to take the other two shells, or well, just in case. Okay, well, guess what? Well, just in case, I will take a box of condoms with me in case I come across a whole bunch of horny nuns. I've got a higher chance of coming across those horny nuns than I am a bunch of fucking heavies grouping up like that, knowing that there's artillery in an open fucking field. You just don't get it, do you, Will Gaming? You just don't fucking get it. Your own video points out your hypocrisies. Okay, yes, the powder charge and whatnot. Yeah, so you can get a tiny little bit more velocity out of your fucking... I swear there's just squirrels picking up fucking acorns and going... No. Horse shit. Horse shit. An adrenaline rush. Why on God's green earth would you put adrenaline rush on a tank that has such little fucking hit points that you tend to die in the first fucking hit? Again, useless fucking skill. I see 1, 2, 3 useless skills on the loaders. I see 1, 2, 3 useless skills on the driver. I see 1, 2, maybe 3 useless skills on the gunner, and I see 1, 2, 3 useless skills on the fucking commander / radio operator.
Snapshot, intuition, clutch braking,
No.
and sound detection.
No.
But other perks can be useful for SPGs too.
Okay, armorer, no. Again, if you're getting shot at, okay, armorer's not going to save you.
Also differs compared to other vehicle types. Gun rammer and enhanced gun laying drive are pretty much obligatory. Improved rotation mechanism is usually the third choice, but other options are possible. Ventilation.
No. Vents, absolutely fucking not. Don't even look at vents. The reason why is where it says most, it means all. Okay? You've got maybe 2 that I can think of at the top of my head. 2 artillery pieces where you can take vents. But 90% of the time, don't fucking bother. Same as turbo. Don't fucking bother. I genuinely think there should be actual downsides to equipment. Like if you're running a turbo, your tank's louder, therefore your camo rating goes down. Camo nets. They take 2 seconds to set up. And then, therefore, in order for you to move, you got to wait a second to pack 2 seconds to pack the tent up, to pack the camo net up. Then you can move again. I.e., you're immobilized for 2 seconds. What else? Same as binocular telescope. Takes 2 seconds to spot it up. Takes 2 seconds to fold it back up. In other words, you can't move. I genuinely think that there should be physical downsides. Okay, physical downsides to certain equipment, like coated optics should only work in the direction that you're facing, not all around you. Should only work the direction your mouse is looking. Oh wow, did I just come up with a balance factor? Oh yeah, fuck, I did.
Charger or its experimental version.
That's the only one you can fit. No. No. Why would you want binocular telescope? If you need to spot because your light tanks are dead, and there's no mediums or tank destroyers or heavy tanks around, you're dead. You're just dead. Practice.
Some think that playing SPGs doesn't require skill. That's only partly true.
No, it requires a lot of skill. Please stop being disrespectful.
Artillery players don't need to do many of the things that tankers do, but an effective game requires some specific skills and knowledge. This is what we're going to talk about.
And notice they're using a French artillery piece that has high mobility.
Firstly, take a safe position.
No.
You are
Wrong. You do not take a safe position. Morons who want to do nothing in the game take a safe position. What you want to do at the beginning and each and every... You know what? I'm just going to play a game in my Arty and show you. Alright? I'm just going to play a game in my Arty and show you. Okay? Now, these are my consumables. Chocolate for the extra 10% to my crew. Large. Ammo loadout is this. I've got a gun lane drive. Now, I could swap that out for a loader, but it really doesn't do anything. And I'd rather keep my aim time. Thank you very much. Okay? Cool. Fucking finally! Yeah. Okay, cool. So, we're in Fisherman's Bay. This is the first thing we're going to do. Are you ready? You hold down tab. You take a look. Now, our EBR hasn't even started unlocking all the stuff, so we know that their EBR is going to have a little bit more. Now, they've got Lorraine 5550 and an M12, and then there's me and this other guy. I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on the fact that they got two auto loaders. Right, now, watch what I'm going to do. Watch. Oh, does this really look like I'm heading to a safe position? Absolutely friggin' not. Why am I not heading to a safe position? That M12 is. Look at him go. And of course, we've got 2 or 3 tanks that are AFK. Okay, there's the Barask bullying our Hotchkiss. Like I said, what did I tell you? Medium tanks are the new light tanks. People think I'm joking when I say that. I am not joking. Medium tanks are the new light tanks. And look where both the autoloaders are. Right in the middle with indestructible houses. Alright, so there's... Let me back off a little bit. Try and get a better angle. Wow, did an artillery just move? Yep. I mean, if you insist on backing up like that. And look, I didn't even go anywhere near where the fuck I shot, right? Way overshot. It fucking way overshot. Now, why is that? Why did it way overshoot? Because that's wargaming. I could fire again. And it did nothing. Again, I'm going to move. Because it helps to move. Alright. The Barask's still in the middle, hiding, stuck behind that building. Okay, there's an object. 3, 2, 1, shoot. 188. Okay. I know, look, he's stunned, but no one's shooting. He's stunned, but no one's shooting. Do I have shots? I do. Wow, I rotated my turret 3 degrees, so I've got to completely re-aim. Where's the splash? Where's the stun? Where's the whatever wargaming? I'm aiming right here, and my friggin' shell flew so far over that fucking IS-3, it went on holiday in Kampanovka. Your entire aim mechanic is broken. See? Completely overshot the tank. Completely overshot. And we've lost middle. No. So this view is pointless. This view is barely acceptable. I've hit more in this view than I have this view. I'll let him have that stun. It's going to be here. Steer Mill's dead. Did the Barask try and drown himself? Okay, there's. See now, watch. So you tell me, what was Armorer worth it? Was freaking Adrenaline Rush worth it? You're legit dead, dude. Of course, nowhere near where the fuck I aimed. Don't matter though. So, prime example. You literally just saw that the fact that, no, from watching that M12 get obliterated, that those skills that they were showing you to pick were worthless, were useless, was pointless. Stop paying attention. Stop. But it's Wargaming's official channel. They know what they're talking about. No, they don't. They don't know what they're talking about. They're talking out their fucking arse. Okay, they're talking out their arse. Now, by the way, what did I tell you? Tracks. Track and track. It's the only thing that it lists as a critical damage component for artillery at the end panel. This is your end panel, Wargaming. This is not modified in any way, shape, or form. So this isn't on me. This isn't on a mod pack. This isn't on Aslan. This isn't on anyone. This is on you. This is on you, Wargaming, to fix this shit. But you won't. You won't fix it. You won't fix it. Now I walked away with 40,000 credits. The majority of my cost was more of my chocolate than it was my ammunition. Lowest member on the team for that, but we did walk away with 2 kills. Lowest member on pretty much low-hanging fruit. Whatever, don't care. Now, let's take a look at my commander's skills, shall we? Now, everything you see here is designed to either A, level my crew up quick enough, or B, actually be useful. Now, I've gone with Brother in Arms, because like I said, that's what you should do. Yes, I took Mentor early. Why? Reason why, so it levels up my crew faster. Once my crew's leveled up to where they're at, to where I want them to be at, which is 4, 5 skills, so about here, so end of this skill, into the next one, which I think, once we grab a couple of, there you go. So once I get more of these personal training manuals, I will be getting my artillery crew. I'm going to be getting my arty crew to max anyway. Why? Because this is my favorite artillery piece in the whole world of tanks. But it's got a shit gun. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's alpha to reload rate. You can't beat it. Mathematically, you can't beat it. And it's tier. Yeah, it's going to be extremely rare that I do see tier 10s, but I don't care. I truly don't care. Now, yes, I did put skills in my arty piece, mostly because skills absolutely hates artillery, and I was like, why the hell not? So I did that on purpose. But to make up for it, I did put him in, I think it was my E100, or was it my yeah, I think it was my E100 I put him in. And so my point is, okay, and yes, I put in communications expert, not signal relaying. The reason why is because once I hit an enemy tank and it exceeds my hit points, which it will after about 2 or 3 shots, that's an additional 2.78% increase. Flats out to about 3%. So that's an additional 3% on top, and it's multiplicative. Do you understand what that means? So you got Brother in Arms at 5%. Okay, then you got Chocolate at 20%. So that's 5 times 20. Okay, times 3. I can get my reload down to about 18 seconds. For my tier, that's pretty freaking impressive. So like I said, now, Gunner. Yeah, Deadeye, absolutely, immediately. Reason why you want to go with Deadeye is, yes. Now, this skill did get changed. Deadeye did get changed. Now, the reason why Deadeye got changed was Deadeye didn't used to work for HE shells, but they changed that. And now they changed it so it doesn't work with autocannons. Thank friggin' Christ for that. And so, why not try it with that with Arty? On the off chance you do get a fire, or an engine, or an ammo rack. If it's an open top tank destroyer like the Nashorn, or the M10, or the Hellcat, or the Jackson, or the Object 268, stuff like that, yeah, there's a high chance you're going to do some seriously good damage with that skill. Snapshot, again, it does get my gun dispersion down. Now, the reason why I took Snapshot is because if you've looked, I have a freaking turret, which means Snapshot does actually work. It does kick in. And then, of course, we've got quick aiming. Again, that helps with traverse by 3% and aim speed by an additional 3%. So it gets my aim time from 4.5 seconds down to freaking 3.9. And again, when my other perks kick in, I can get my aim time down to about 2.8 seconds. And for an artillery piece, that's pretty freaking impressive. Okay? So, driver, again, clutch braking, smooth ride. Reason why, again, if I have to rotate my turret, because it's not a stationary cabin. It has a specific rotation arc. It's not. Gun elevation and traverse is one thing, but this has got a turret traverse, then a gun traverse. So I have to double up my stats. So yes, normally I wouldn't take clutch braking. If it was up to me, I mean, drivers, honestly, this is the thing that upsets me. Why did they give firefighting to the radio operator when it was not up to the radio operator? It's up to the driver. In British armor, the TC and the driver have to go through and do a maintenance report. We have to check the drive wheels, the bogey wheels, the return wheels. We have to check the fluids. We have to check everything. And there's a little maintenance log. When you lift the engine deck up, there's a little weatherproof pouch in there. Inside there's the paperwork. And inside that paperwork has to be signed by the driver. And it also has to be co-signed by the TC, by the tank commander. Okay? So why doesn't the driver get the firefighting perk? Now, on an artillery piece, controlled impact, useless. Reliable placement, useless. Off-road driving, useless. Engineer, useless. They're just useless. These three are just useless for an artillery piece. I genuinely think that they should actually put in skills just for specific roles. Skills just for light tanks. Skills just for medium tanks. Skills just for heavies. Skills just for artillery, etc., etc. Skills just for tank destroyers. But they won't. Because that would be too hard and too complex of a system. No, it fucking wouldn't. You lazy bastards. And as you can see, I did go with ammo tuning, and I did go with perfect charge. Yes, they do stack. Even though it says right here, if two loaders have the same perk, the average value of the training is applied. Well, average training for both is 10%. So it's not exactly a 20% increase. It's actually more of a 12%, 13%, which... In all honesty, it makes me just want to... Anyway, but no intuition. You don't need it. I don't have any other shell types. I just fire one shell type. There's no point in taking any other shell type. Because it's all situational. No, it's just not fucking worth it. It's just not fucking worth it. Now, close combat. Unless you're planning... let me put it like this. If you have to rely on close combat... Yeah... to save you, you're playing artillery wrong. Just no. Safe stowage, not going to work. Your artillery have the lowest hit point ammo racks in the game. So even with ammo rack and improved hardening and you will get ammo rack in one shot. No ands, ifs, or buts, so don't worry about that. So, but there you go, guys. Not only did I just give you video proof proving that the rest of this is horseshit. So
hide as far away as possible.
No.
Now press shift. The artillery reticle has two modes.
For me, it's not shift, it's right click on my mouse, because most FPS shooters you don't hold shift to aim, you press your right click or whatever button. For me, I'm left-handed, so for me it's the left click or the left button to aim and right button to shoot.
Which can be switched by pressing the G key.
Yeah, I know that.
First is top view. This is universal, and
No.
you should use it most of the time
No.
to survey the battlefield.
No.
The second mode shows the trajectory. It helps you gauge where your shell will fly from and to. That makes it comfortable to fling a shell, say, through a window.
No.
The minimap is your best friend in aim. Arty
No
players
shit.
need it more than others. It helps you quickly switch from one flank to...
You should make it so that you can't turn off the minimap. Period.
the other. Hold control to bring up the cursor and click the right mouse button on the square you need. This is more effective than moving the reticle over half the map.
You'd think so, but it's not, because guess what? Once you've done that, your barrel now has to go peely 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 and wait. While all that action's going on. And then you shoot. And you miss. And then more action happens. So you click on that and all of a sudden it's like peely 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 peely. And you're reloading still. Are we almost done yet? No, okay. Yeah, put the kettle on. Oh, that's just the projector, okay. Oh, fuck me, we're ready. Oh, where's everyone gone?
Pressing Control and clicking the left mouse button on the minimap shows allies where you're going to fire. And with
No.
the T key, you can place a mark exactly where your reticle is pointing. This can sometimes be useful to avoid accidentally stunning a teammate. You can even enter sniper mode without the shift key. Hold Control and, with the right mouse button, click a spot that interests you on the minimap, and you'll immediately see it in the reticle. If you want to look around without breaking your aim, hold the right mouse button. The minimap shows your vision direction and your gun's arc of fire. These two lines
Gun traverse. Please pronounce it properly.
are your gun traverse limits.
See? It's called gun traverse. Thank you.
If your reticle leaves them, the vehicle's hull turns and the aim is reset. You can turn the vehicle with the A and D keys to get the enemy's position approximately in the middle of the lines. If your SPG has a narrow arc of fire, you can move it carefully with your mouse. To make sure the reticle doesn't leave the arc of fire, press X. This key puts the handbrake on. Point it at your target. Now aim fully. You can only fire without aiming when the enemy is about to drive off.
And where did any of those skills he selected help him? Did Armorer help him? No. Did Adrenaline Rush help him? No. Shoot. It's almost as if you don't know what the fuck you're doing with your skills, isn't it, Wargaming?
Any other time, be patient. Your shells fly for a long time.
2.5 seconds. Which, yes, in border tanks is an eternity.
So learn the art of leading your target. Different shells have different velocities, so each SPG takes some time to get used to. The indicator above the reticle shows how long your shell will take to reach the current point. Don't forget to glance at it sometimes.
I have 3 of them in my reticle. One given by Wargaming, which the time is way the fuck off, I might add. Another one which is based on the server reticle of where I'm aiming, which by the way is way the fuck off. And then the third one is the actual one I trust, which is from Aslan's.
The shells fly in an arc, so high up obstructions often stop you hitting enemy tanks.
You don't say.
A red indicator shows you that something is obstructing your shot. A gray one tells you that you lack the shell flying distance to hit your mark, so you should move closer or choose a nearer target. A green light means you're clear to fire. The shell has no obvious obstacles.
It does. It's called Wargaming's stupidity. That's the biggest obstacle.
The indicator could be red for one shell type and green for another, since they have different trajectories. The first stunning HE shell has the most curved trajectory, so it's the least obstructed by the terrain, but also flies longer.
And now you know why it's the only shell you should bother with.
The second has a less curved one, and the third has the straightest. Don't be surprised if another vehicle...
Okay, the armor-piercing one gets a different normalization mechanic. And if you don't know what that means if you're aiming at something like, say, an IS-3, like you saw in that game I was playing, if I was to have fired an AP round, it would have bounced. Why? The pike nose. The pike nose was designed to prevent shells coming in at the trajectory that an artillery would be firing. You're welcome. Ooh, go away.
can fire where you can't reach. Different SPGs have different shell trajectories. The steeper they are, the easier it is to hurl shells over obstructions.
No. I mean, theory, yes, but no.
But the longer it takes the special delivery to reach its recipient. If you can choose a target, fire at the most dangerous one.
No, fire at the least armored one. Why? You have a higher chance of your shell doing more damage, or even, God forbid, even penetrating and doing more damage. Not the most dangerous. 9 times out of 10, the most dangerous is the most heavily armored, i.e. Yagi E100, E100s, Object 268s, IS-7s, Japanese Type 5s. Anything that's considered a super heavy, you're not really going to do the amount of damage you would as if you hit a medium or a light tank. So, no, that is actually trash.
Don't forget that unlike in other vehicle types, you can pick a target on either flank.
No, you can't.
Don't get too hooked on firing AP shells. Use different shell types depending on the situation. But most
What E50M is going to sit there and let you do that?
fire the first stunning HE shells. This will help out your team on the front line.
If your team even remotely fucking looks, yeah. But 9 times out of 10, as you saw, my team's too busy going, "Ooh, a beautiful butterfly."
Don't forget that HE shells have a shrapnel damage radius. If you don't have any targets for a direct hit, you can still bash an enemy in cover.
Only applies to Tier 8 artillery and higher. Doesn't even apply to my fucking... to my GW Tiger. To my Panther.
Try to get the shell as close as possible to your opponent. To hit a tank using the top view reticle, place a central dot a little behind the tank. Because of the shell trajectory, that's how you'll maximize your chances of connecting. If you don't have any easy targets, focus on the counter battery fire, tracking enemy SPGs with tracers. But keep in mind that these only show approximate SPG locations, not exact ones. Taking out enemy artillery is a great way to lift your team's spirits. To avoid being
Did I even play the game?
on the receiving end of counter battery fire, change position as soon as you fire. For example, to the next bush. It's best to move to the side and not forward to get out of the enemy Arty's shell trajectory. Look after yourself out there. Artillery is the most vulnerable vehicle type. If an enemy makes a break for you, retreat ASAP. Or get ready for close combat. You can make yourself not such an easy prey. By playing artillery, you also learn how to play against it. You'll remember the standard lines of fire and will understand how Arty players behave, which should help you not be on the receiving end of their special deliveries so often.
That's one of my
You can find
specials.
a more detailed
Oh,
video about how HE shells and artillery work via the link in the description. Share this video with friends who fire
it's an amazing how this is supposed to be a video guide on artillery, and they keep telling you, click the link. No.
AP shells and wheeled tanks and then seek promotion to submarine. Just to go on a vacation for physics abuse. Good luck on the battlefield.
You do not ban artillery for drowning. You don't. I'm sorry, but you don't. You don't. The amount of times I've played against specific players, because again, on the North American server, the player base is so tiny, you do constantly play against the same players repeatedly. I have seen certain artillery players that will purposely drown themselves the moment they see me or some of my clan members in the enemy team, because they know that they're going to get destroyed. So they just... they're not banned. So that's absolute horseshit. Well, the video is absolute trash. That's a given, and I mean it's absolute trash. What can I say? It's just trash. The video's just trash. It's misleading, completely misleading. It's trying to tell you that you need to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z when you don't. The skills it's picked are just wrong. What else? It's just wrong. All of it, everything about it is just, it's just wrong. I don't think there's a single thing in that video that is helpful. As an artillery player, not an arty main. Please don't grab the pitchforks, guys. I don't arty main. Okay, but I genuinely feel that they could have done a lot better with that video. They are showing majority high tier artillery, hence because they want the damage and the back. They go, oh my god, I can do 800 damage. No, you can't. Okay, it's very rare, as you've seen in the video of me playing, where I was averaging 200, and yet it says my average damage is 608. How do you get 200 from 608? That's what I want to know. How do you get 200 from 608? And even when I highlight the damn gun, it tells me 465. It tells me 465 low end, that's my lowest roll, to 750 is my max roll. I didn't even see 400. That is absolute toilet water. That's rubbish. It's garbage. That's just not possible. So the paper stats that you see, over here are all lies. Right here, it says 608 average damage. Highlight. What does it say? 465. If I go to Armor Inspector, it lists all my shots. Where was any of those in the 400s? Where was any of those in the 400s? Do you see? Lies. Statistical proof that you are lying. War gaming. You're lying. And this is the current patch. You're lying. You are lying. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the Cobra Reacts. Until then, keep your shows fine. Keep your enemies dying. Cobra Commander is out. And I'll see you sexy bitches in the next one. Booyah!